Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have a fun video about error coins and something that you're probably not going to really believe until you see it. In the meantime, just remember, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing the videos so that people can get educated, have fun, enjoy all the coin entertainment that's available to them on YouTube. And we're going to start with a double denomination. Remember, if any of these coins end up being available for sale, they will be listed down in the show notes. You click on the title of the video and then it'll drop down a little menu and it'll show you where the coin's available for sale. As of the filming, none of them are for sale, but we'll see what happens between now and the time it gets posted. This one is super cool because it is not simply a wrong planchet error, it's an actual double denomination. You may remember earlier in the last year or so I had what I called an 11-cent piece. It was a dime and a penny, both struck. And of course, this is a nickel struck over a struck penny. And I have a story to go with this, which I think is accurate. That's why I'm going to say it. Of course, there you can see the Lincoln Memorial headed this way. Reminds me a whole lot of that little train that was in Mr. Rogers, I'm not going to lie. And of course, it's harder to make out Lincoln. We got a pretty strong portrait of Jefferson struck over here. What I want to talk about on this coin is, see that little pinch mark here that is on both sides of the coin? It was explained to me by an error expert that that actually is how a lot of these errors are made, that the tub or bin that these things get moved around in have a hatch door that drops and then closes back up, and that pinch will be from that trap door. You can see it going across the top of the coin here, and so that it's something that you'll see every once in a while on an error coin of this type. So wrong planchets, double strucks, especially struck over a struck coin, double denomination. So this is a 1979 nickel on. Let's see, double denomination struck cent, MS63 red brown. What would be interesting is if you had coins of different dates, because then that gets really intriguing. But this one, I'm pretty sure it's just the one denomination. And pretty cool piece. My 11-cent piece that I had, I think we got something like $1,700, $1,800 out of. Next up is a pretty flashy error. I mean, really nice looking grade here. And I think maybe even conservatively graded, if you will. This is multi-struck / broad struck. So multi-struck is more interesting than broad struck. Broad struck generally just means that the ring that holds the edges together popped, and so without those curbs, those barriers, the coin gets flattened out a little bit further than it would. Also pretty wild with the full steps. That's actually on the grade here, full steps. The interesting part is the multi-strike facet to this coin. MS64, full steps. And let's see if we can get something to kind of show us that the coin was struck multiple times. I think generally you're just looking at this behavior. Like, we're not really seeing a lot of extra lettering. You see a little extra lettering, but that almost just looks like, you know, something, well, you can hardly even tell with the lettering. I think the multi-strike facet comes a lot more from these layers of metal that you see here that would not normally be there just in a normal broad strike. So what you're seeing with this little spike that's shooting out towards the right is actually part of a design element from Jefferson's collar, from the bottom of the bust, and then it's been struck over again. I think that's generally speaking what you're seeing on that part of the coin. And just really kind of a cool piece all around. This piece here, you know, maybe up to a few $100, something like that, maybe not that much. Here you can see a lot of the extra lettering action. It did not get crushed away on this part. from the multi-strikes. So the multi-strikes, almost like the multiverse, it's hard to understand when you look at it. Last but definitely not least is, I think, one of the coolest errors that I've ever seen. And actually, I already did this all wrong, because originally I was just going to show you this and just say, okay, guys, tell me what you're looking at here. Tell me what coin this is. You know, tell me what you see and what in the world we're looking at now. Dun, dun, dun. We're looking at a coin that the owner calls the mushroom, and you can see why. Now, what's wild about this coin is it actually looks like it's multiple planchets because of these like folds in the metal. You see, like, that looks like a fold in the metal there. And it looks like there's a fold in the metal here, kind of that crease. You can actually make out some of the lettering on the edge here. And this is a 1999 5-cent multi-planchet obverse die cap, 5 grams. So what's interesting about this to me is that they call it multi-planchet, which means that you should have more than one planchet here, but also they should only be partial planchets, because a planchet should be 5 grams. So that's a little bit confusing to me. Also, small note, number 2 of 2. This was together with another coin, and one of my air experts told me maybe another group of coins, it probably would have had a big old, one of those big old fat stacks of coins, you know, a big old stack of coins stuck on top of it. So, you know, once you get used to looking at these, I suppose you should be able to tell exactly what you're looking at, which end is up. But we can catch on, like I said, there's the E pluribus. So we're going to go ahead and do this the old-fashioned way and compare it to something that's already there. So if we're going to go ahead and line up your E pluribus with your E pluribus, that is the top part of the coin on the reverse. So this should have the design of Monticello. And also, though, I mean, it's clearly because it had it clearly had a bunch of strikes. I would actually say that that's not lined up perfectly. It should be, yep, like that, like that. And so now you can see the very general outline of Monticello here. There's the dome, like that. Which means if we flip it over like this, we should have Jefferson heads up. Tommy, looking good, buddy. Looking real good. That is just like not, I don't, like, I'm not going to pretend that I can see Thomas Jefferson there. You better chance of seeing, you know, Jesus in a pancake and the Virgin Mary and all that stuff. That's a whole nother type of video for another day. Anyways, guys, so the owner is probably valued at probably $3,000 plus on something like that. Just a wild error. The type of errors that are on people's bucket list, so to speak, when it comes to error coins. And, you know, an owner puts a value on it, and he's probably not far off. I mean, I think at auction it might go for that much. You know, me and another error expert talked about this together a little bit, and he said, you know, it's the type of thing that if someone priced it at $2,000, he'd probably buy it. If they priced it below that, he'd buy it without thinking. So, you know, you kind of get a sense for what the value could be on a baseline, and then on the upside, it's kind of the sky's the limit when you get a couple people fighting for something like that at auction. By the way, if you've got number 1 of 1, then 1 of 2, contact me, please. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.